Hello, hello, hello. It says we're starting. Today is day 3, nutrition to improve metabolic flexibility. First, I have to drop that. So, all right, I'm going to put the link in here for you. You know, I should get good at that and put that in before we do a live. I should get better at that. Okay. We're going to talk about nutrition today. I am a half an hour early. I apologize, but I have a previous engagement at 6 p.m. Tonight we're talking about nutrition. We've talked about what is metabolic flexibility. We've talked about Zone 2 training to help your metabolic flexibility. So Zone 2 training is the exercising for your cells. This nutrition that we're going to talk about is your nutrition for the cells. So it's really not much different than actual strength training, okay? So the whole reason we have blood sugar is for the muscle cells. It's for the strength training, okay? Yes, we store some glucose in the liver, blah, 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 but that's, and of course we use it for the brain, okay? But the majority of your blood sugar is meant to go into your cells of your muscle so that it can propel you through the day, keep you active, help you gather your food and eat your food, harvest your food, all these good things, okay? Move things around. So, open up your PDF. And the first thing that I want to say is that we really need to have all 3 macros in your diet. There are a lot of people out there still anti-carb. You'll just never have the most optimal body without using all 3. There's a reason there are all 3, and I want to remind you of something. There's only 3 things you can get a calorie from, only 3: carb, fat, and protein. All of these 3 things start out in life as a carbohydrate, okay? If you think about where do these macros come from? They all come from plants, okay? So I just want to make sure I point that out because it means something. And I believe we were meant to use all 3 macros. Again, they are the only 3 things that give us calories, okay? Therefore, your first job is to learn to incorporate all 3 into your life so that you can get the best body, the best, I'm going to say athletic cells, okay? Athletic cells. We want athletic cells. Athletic cells know when to use fat for energy, and athletic cells know when to use sugar for energy, okay? And that's an athletic cell of the body, and we want athletic cells. And in order to do that, you do have to strength train them with Zone 2 training, okay? Zone 2 cardio, on-purpose movement, breathing, all right? And then good nutrition to help fuel them so that when your body regenerates new cells, it's got good quality material to make the new cells with, okay? So the second thing is you really can only have a great metabolism if your blood sugar remains balanced most all the time. Our body is already made so that when we eat something, the insulin comes out and immediately does what it's supposed to do. We're not really supposed to feel like a 2-year-old on a Mountain Dew. Okay, we're not really supposed to feel like that. We feel energetic, but we're not supposed to feel like we just drank a Mountain Dew. Okay, our body is made to handle that. It's got its process that it's supposed to do. It's when we fall into the habits of eating things maybe that we shouldn't, maybe eating them more than we shouldn't, and we fall into those habits. Okay. Now, I'm a long way out from those habits, and so I have to sometimes stop and remember how easy it is to always have a bag of chips near you, how easy it is to dip into that bag of chips even once a week, and those kinds of things are the things that kind of keep us in this zone we're in, okay? So we're going to talk about keeping your blood sugar balanced. I just think I haven't talked about that enough. So in order to keep your blood sugar balanced, you can't go too long without eating, and you can't eat too often. You can't eat too much. All right? That may sound like a lot of work, but it's really not a lot of work. And you actually think clearer when you are keeping your blood sugar balanced. Okay? Sugar is not the only thing that spikes your blood sugar. It's not. Large meals, it can spike your blood sugar. Okay? Overloading your system can cause you to spike your blood sugar, okay? The only thing I'm going to say is it is said in the science that fat does not spike your blood sugar. But I will say this, that if you've eaten a very high fatty meal, it doesn't matter if it's good fat or bad fat. I have learned that too much fatty meals in your system can harm the liver. It's not good for the liver. But if your body is so clogged down with trying to digest a fatty meal and then you eat sugar, I can tell you right now, chances are that sugar is going to shoot your blood sugar up and be stored as fat. Okay? So how much you're eating at one time is a big deal. You can train yourself. I've been there and I've watched people do it. You can train yourself to eat 2 plates in one sitting of less than maybe 15 minutes, and it feels normal. You don't feel bloated yet. You don't feel full. Those are things you've trained yourself to do, okay? You can train yourself to do anything else. You can train yourself to change it. So we want to learn which foods spike your blood sugar, okay? We want to learn which foods spike your blood sugar so that you can replace them with a food that balances your blood sugar, okay? And this is the exact thing that I teach inside the Get More Fit program, okay? The exact stuff. We're talking about low glycemic carbohydrates. We're talking about low glycemic meals. We talk about, I love to tell people how to prepare pasta in a way that it is low glycemic, because it is possible. You can eat pasta and it not spike your blood sugar. You can train yourself to do that. But if you are someone who overeats a lot of pasta, and I mean overeats pasta, you're probably spiking your blood sugar with it. The softer that pasta is, the faster your blood sugar is spiking. But we can train you to change that. We can cook your pasta very al dente, so it's very firm, a little bit on the chewy side. And you can have one serving and probably feel just as satisfied as if you overate the pasta, okay? We talk about those kinds of things. But I like helping people kind of remove them for a little while and then slowly add them back in, and you get to figure out which ones you enjoy having as your energy source, okay? So, with that said, the other thing that I want to remind you of is it's really not in your best interest to go all morning or all day without eating. Even if you have coffee with coconut oil or some kind of healthy fats, okay, it's not healthy to go all morning and all day without food. If you make it all the way until 3 or 4 o'clock and all you've had is less than 500 calories, you are harming your metabolism. I don't care if you sit in a chair all day. I don't care if you're a secretary answering a phone all day. I'm telling you that if you are at work all day, you're thinking, you're dealing with people, your body is processing. The only thing I'm going to say is if you're a second or third shift worker, that's different. Your awake hours are different, okay? But you do not want to go all day without eating. By the time 3 or 4 o'clock has rolled around, you have already burned about 1,000 calories for the day. And if you have not eaten enough to help that through, your body is not going to function at its best at all. You've trained yourself to live there, but I'm telling you, you can feel and do so much better. So that's what I preach right now, is learning to eat most of your calories during your most awake hours. So if you're mostly awake from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., okay, you're not a person who's awake from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., you want most of your calories in during the time you're awake the most. So 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We want the majority of our calories then. I typically will have no less than 1,800 calories in by that time of day. So 1,800 calories then, and then the rest of the night, if I need a snack or two, then I'm at my 2,000 or my 22 or 300, okay? I leave that room for that snack in the evening. Now 200 calories is a snack for me. But I want to remind you, most of your calories should be eaten during the day. It's not something you're just going to jump in and start doing tomorrow. You ease into it because your body's not used to it yet. But I'm telling you, you will think clearer. Your body will move better. You will have more energy when you get home. So many things will change for you. You just have to learn to eat better. Now, I hear from a lot of people, I don't have time to eat during the day. You can make it whatever you want. I'm just going to be blunt. You can make it whatever you want. There was a period of time where I needed to learn how to have calories during the day, but I had back-to-back clients, okay? And I didn't want to try to get complicated and schedule in a 5-10 minute break just so I could eat. I would keep nuggets of something in my pocket and snack on it here and there. And I could easily get 200 calories in within an hour if I was nibbling on something here and there. One little handful of peanuts, nuts, any kind of nuts that fills this hand right here is about 200 calories, okay? So easy peasy to get your calories in during the day by just snacking little bits. You can walk to the bathroom and eat that many calories, okay? You can walk to the bathroom, eat them on your way. You've got them in your system. You've got an extra 200 calories in your system during the daytime when you normally have barely any, okay? So, and again, like it says on here, you've taught yourself to eat. You've taught yourself not to eat. You can teach yourself to eat, okay? I keep forgetting to check and see. All right. So here are some rules that are going to be extremely helpful for you. You want to focus on protein first. You want to become protein focused. So if you have not changed anything in your life regarding your diet, this is the first thing that I tell all my clients to do. We don't even talk about anything else yet, not unless they ask, but you just focus on protein. I want 30 grams of protein at breakfast, and I want 30 grams of protein at lunch, and then I want 30 grams of protein at dinner. In and around those times, okay? If somebody is not used to getting enough protein, that's what I tell them first. 30, 30, 30, okay? When they've mastered that, I start telling them 50, 50, 50, okay? Because most everybody I work with is somewhere around 150 pounds and up, okay? So 50, 50, 50. Mine is 50, 50, 50. Mine is 150 grams of protein per day. You want to choose from lean protein sources, and I just want to remind you, do not use nuts, do not use seeds as your protein sources because your calories will jump up super high. Those are fat sources. Nuts and seeds are fat sources, just like sausages and hot dogs are fat sources. Find lean protein sources, okay? If you have not downloaded that in a while, I do have that list that I can put back in here for you, but I have a list of the most easiest macros, keeps it simple, not overclouding your brain with too many choices. After you have become protein focused, I want you to become focused on low glycemic carbohydrates, okay? Some of the top low glycemic carbohydrates are black beans, chickpeas, all fruit ending in berry, green veggies of all kinds, okay? Peppers, all leafy greens, trying to think of how, squashes, pickles, cucumbers, all of those things are so low caloric. They're almost like adding 0 calories to your day, okay? But they are vegetables, okay? And they do not raise your blood sugar. So those are things to eat. There are other low glycemic carbohydrates as well. Definitely, and if you do not have that list, I can share that list with you. You have to reach out to me and I will send it to you. And then after that, you can start focusing on getting healthy fats, okay? So if you're getting not so healthy fats, you can start learning to replace them with healthier fats, which are olive oil, avocado oil, and even coconut oil. Olives and avocado, those are healthy fats. I go as far as putting real butter on here, okay? And then chia seeds. Chia seeds have a very healthy fat in them. So these are really super short lists, but you can find your own list. You can comment in the group. You can ask, what about these? You can ask for the list of low glycemic foods. You can, anything that you want help on knowing, any of these questions on these foods, reach out to me because I have lists to give you a start on guidance, okay? The other thing, the next thing in line that you need to remember is to eat every few hours, okay? These are the same things they teach diabetics to do, okay? We're not diabetic now. Hopefully we're not. I mean, if you are. This is your ticket out, okay? But if you're not, if you have insulin resistance, or if you're just like, the belly's the only thing big on me, okay, that's usually insulin resistance, but we're gonna teach you how to reverse that. Eating every few hours is going to be your best friend because your body needs to have balanced blood sugar. If you go too long without it, your blood sugar will drop a little too low, and that causes stress on the body. Just like having too much sugar causes stress on the body, okay? There is a balance that we want to find. And then pre and post workout, okay? I pretty much teach all my clients, whether it's a hard workout or not, I pretty much teach them the habit of snacking or having a meal before and snacking and having a meal after, okay? Does it have to be a really big snack? Not really. It doesn't have to be a really big one. It has to be something though. It has to be protein and carbohydrate. No fiber, no fats. Before and after a workout. No fiber, no fats. Protein and carb. The protein is what your body will use to rebuild, and the carbohydrate is what your body will use to shut down the cortisol stress, catabolic mode, and turn on your anabolic mode for the rebuilding process. Okay. Working out uses muscles on purpose, and therefore this is how we teach the body to be refueled. Use the workout or use the activity. I don't care if it's, maybe you go outside and you're pulling weeds, maybe you're mowing lawn, maybe you're, I'm not sure, doing outside work in the yard. That is work. Use that as your workout. Snack before, snack during, depending on how long it is, snack after. Okay. You want to teach your body that if you're going to work, you're going to fuel it. It's going to work, you're going to fuel it. It's going to work, you're going to fuel it. You will have the most efficient metabolic process going on that you will wonder why you didn't learn this sooner. Okay, I promise you that's how it works. All right. If you don't have a very big variety of foods, okay, I'm one of those people. I don't have a very big variety of foods. I like to eat a lot of the same foods. Now, I do try. But if you do not have a large variety of foods, I would recommend adding a vitamin or mineral supplement just to kind of help fill some gaps of some nutrients that you may not be getting. I call that your spark plug. Your body will not properly know how to do all the right hormonal processes without your vitamins and minerals being in place. Okay, so it's good to make sure you're filling any of those gaps in. Fish oil is a highly recommended supplement these days for just about everything. I have a client where fish oil, I believe 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams or 3 or 4 grams is prescribed as his blood pressure medication. Okay, apparently it's working. So you want to take any kind of fatty supplements with fatty food. That way it can process better. Your gut health is also super important to be thinking about. If you're getting plenty of fiber, your gut health is more likely to be healthier. So more fiber in your diet, just please do not eat the fiber around your workout, okay? Because it will slow the absorption of the nutrients you need right now. So fiber should be like, in the morning or before bed or whenever, but not directly around your workouts. Fiber does slow the digestion on purpose. That's why it works so well for weight loss. But we need foods that are digested faster around your workouts. So eat your fiber at appropriate times. Don't add too much all at one time. Slowly add it into your diet. I'm going to tell you that I try to get 30 grams a day. 30 grams of fiber a day is over and above what the average American is getting already, and it is very healthy. And ever since I read the study about an indigenous tribe, and I forget where it was, they had near zero, when I say near zero, I don't know because it can never be actual zero, colon cancer. And it's because they get an average of 60 grams of fiber per day because they live on tuberous vegetables. Okay, we could do well to do that. In the end, if your body is struggling to respond to insulin, which this means you're in a prediabetes or insulin resistance phase, then your body is going to struggle to respond to the need for the different energy sources that it should be. Okay, if I right now go out there on the floor and I spend 20 minutes doing mobility on the floor, okay, mobility is, some people call it stretching. It's not just stretch, it's actually not stretching at all. It's creating range of motion in your joints, but it's not just holding a stretch, okay? So it's light movement on the floor. I can do that for 20 to 30 minutes, and I will be using fat stores for energy, okay? If I go out there on the floor and for 20 or 30 minutes, I do jump jacks, I jump on the rebounder, I lift some weights, I jump up and do some pull-ups, and then I go back to the jump jacks and I go back to the rebounder, that is going to use sugar stores, okay? That is medium to high intensity, and I need sugar, I need energy now. And so it's going to pull it right out of my muscle cells. If I have any in my blood right now, it's going to use it then, okay? So that's why I tell you, if I'm going to have a treat, it's going to be before I work out or right after a workout. But it will use whatever's floating in your blood, it'll use that up and then start pulling from your muscle cells, because that's where you store it so that you can use those muscles, okay? But if I'm on the floor doing low intensity work, my body's going to pull from body fat, okay? So in order to not complicate this very much, I'm going to end it there on the nutrition part. Please just comment or reach out if you would like any of those other macro lists, low glycemic lists, macro lists meaning, protein choices, carb choices. I'll definitely send those to you. And then tomorrow we talk about day 4 is, oh my goodness, creating a plan for lasting belly fat reduction. Because if you haven't learned by now, belly fat doesn't disappear in 2 weeks. It usually doesn't disappear in 4 weeks. It never just disappears that fast. But you can start to see it disappear from the edges, from the outer edges in toward the center, if you're consistent, okay? So we're going to talk tomorrow about this plan. We're going to talk about, I'm going to help you make some notes about these 4 things that you need to do to be consistent to lose belly fat, okay? We talk about body fat a lot. It's the belly fat most women are worried about because they can lose the fat everywhere else, but we need to talk about losing the belly fat. We want to be able to teach our body to reach into those fat stores and use it. We have to be able to do that. So I hope you have a great evening.